Oh, we not. Hold on.
The sharing.
Hold on. I don't see it.
Take a
Five,
second.
4,
Take
3,
a
2,
second.
1. Hit it.
Come on now. Come on in. Come on in,
Oh,
baby.
we coming in. We coming in.
Oh, there we go.
We
There
coming
we
in.
go. There we
We
go.
coming in. And let me go to my page. Mr. Omar, you got to share it too.
I'm not on social media.
You're not on social media.
Nah.
How do you live your life? You're not
I'm
on
from the
social
day when we
media.
knock on doors and we say vote for me where you can touch me like our mayor, Dr. Karen Weaver. We're easily accessible, We don't hide behind social media. People say somebody attacked me on social media.
Oh yeah,
They
they
won't
said
come
that.
out.
They said that. I heard that story this weekend. Somebody said they got attacked on social media. Hold
We were threatened.
on. Uh oh. I'm just trying to share this to a few groups. Where's my group at? Where's Flint Politics? Oh, here we go. Flint Politics Reboot. And all my people that's out there, I mean, y'all jump right on as soon as I go live. And I just appreciate that so much. So I'm asking this as you all come on to please share this. I have a very special guest today that I have been dying to sit down with. Not for real. Mr. Omar Sims, man. I've been in politics for a long time, so I knew you before I knew my own dear church member, Sister Carolyn Sims.
Uh-oh, my aunt, the baby. My
Yes,
Piscine.
Memphis Missionary Baptist
Yes,
Church.
they do.
Was Pastor Wallace E. Hill, is Pastor Wallace Hill the third. First Lady Shirley Hill. They're having celebrating their 24th anniversary, pastoral anniversary this Sunday. So if you're not busy, stop by. We would love to have you join us. And I'm trying to get as many people on here as I can because I want to talk about your shirt. Your
Okay.
shirt is pretty. And did you have it made yourself?
No, when I was at homecoming, and this what I got. It's my gift to me for being a graduate of Grambling.
The shade. I love it. Yes, he walked right into it. He walked right into it, y'all. He walked right into it. Let me, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. He walked right into it. Let me make sure I sent it. Did I send it to Christine? Mickey, did you send it to? Oh, Mickey then left out the room. I don't know if he sent it to Christine because Christine be having a fit. Yep. Let me make sure I sent it to Christine. I sent it to Christine. We should be done. Mr. Sims, what's going on?
Yeah, glad to be back here. Tomorrow's the day we will reclaim
Tomorrow's our
victory
big day.
for Dr. Karen Weaver,
Yes,
graduate
yes,
of Tougaloo
yes.
College.
Tougaloo.
And then she got a doctorate degree.
A real one.
And then she brought promise back into our city when we were in the midst of a crisis.
Yeah.
She stood up. She didn't give out a key. She kicked the door in and she said, "Y'all gonna recognize our city." So hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back here with her. And I didn't even lose my voice this weekend after going to homecoming.
Well, I'm glad you went all the way down to Tougaloo.
I went to Grambling.
You went to Grambling.
I went to Grambling.
That's right. Okay, okay.
Tigers, place where everybody's somebody like
They
Mayor
had the
Weaver's
band.
the world renowned band, just like our city under Dr. Weaver's leadership. People knew about us because she did this positive spin. And now they hear about it, they just say, "Oh, that person got to keep to it." And what?
Yeah. We get a lot of them, and I know you get them too from being in politics or used to get them. We get them emails from them anonymous people, and it's like Flint's in the news again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always something bad. Flint made we made the top 25 list for rat infested cities.
This past weekend, they asked me, they said, "How's the water?" I said, "Well, once we get our mayor back in office, I'll be better because guess what? She'll get contractors in there who will finish the job, and some of them will actually put the dollars back into Flint, not other places." And she's very transparent.
Yeah.
So I was being transparent with them. I said, "Hey, if I can make it, you can make it."
That's
But I
right.
told them I had to get back here for tomorrow. So
Right.
that's why I'm here.
And I appreciate you
Well,
for
thank
being
you.
here. Now, a long time ago, this little man from the Sixth Ward decided to run. His name was Sheldon Newton. I was this little child that was in the streets. I didn't think it was nothing better than the Beavers. So he took me under his wing and he showed me the ropes downtown. I helped him with his campaign. He got in. He showed me how stuff worked. I stepped away from the political scene. I was big in the union on my
Okay.
job. That's where I met the Honorable Woodrow
My
Stanley at.
mentor, one of
And
my mentors was my
he used to
alert
have those meetings, with
black
the
leader.
yes. And I got invited to one, and I remember starting out. Some of the people in my little group was Lottie Ferguson,
Okay.
Isaiah Oliver.
People who I know
Right, look
really
all
well.
look who's downtown now. But I went off and decided to get married and have raise a family, and I stepped back into the scene, thinking that I was stepping back into the same man
No,
that I met that was on
no,
council. That's what happened,
no.
and that's why I went wrong. I'm
No,
not
no,
gonna
you
lie.
weren't wrong. You were misled.
I was
You
misled,
were
misguided.
blinded
Yeah,
because sometimes you don't see the genuineness or the realness in a person until they actually go through something. And
yeah,
they said a testimony without a test is what?
nothing.
And that's what you saw.
Yeah,
Everything that glitters not what.
go.
And so sometimes people could say things, but don't be a man of many words, but be a man or a woman of what? Of your word.
Yeah, yeah, of your
And
word.
that's how Woodrow was, and that's how Dr. Weaver is, and that's how I try to pattern myself. You don't give me all these words.
Right,
Can you spell them in a dictionary?
right. Nice,
I
beautiful
don't
words.
see
But
it.
I remember, like a lot of, I never deny the stuff that I remember doing. And I remember filming him, so captivating. He draws you in with
Yeah.
those beautiful speeches and those words that are just nothing but a bunch of
Substance.
that's
Real
it.
substance.
That's it. But I've always said this to many, many people. I don't know if it's ever gotten back to you or not, but I always said that when you ran against him in the state rep election,
Hmm.
and when I found out that he didn't have a degree, which was a long
Hmm.
time ago, um, I think he was robbed of your political career.
Well, part of it, I didn't fight like I should have.
I don't think
I
you did.
took the high road because I expected people to judge me by my work, and things were said and did in that election that again, no substance, and I didn't feel like I needed to dignify it. But unfortunately, people bought the Kool Aid.
Yeah,
They drank the Kool Aid, and
yeah,
this is what they get. They get the water piece because remember when we were in the midst of the water crisis, who was with Dane Wally and emergency manager? Let's not be misled, but I wasn't on the council. I was on the board of commissions, and we knew that. But somebody was saying the water is good to drink.
Sheldon down there
It wasn't
filming.
me.
He was down there filming with King Mondo. Then he wanted to twist all of that up.
So
You know,
and he used that in the race for state rep. There was a Caucasian gentleman who was an educator who had a degree, and based on my understanding, and I spoke to political pundits in Lansing and Flint and all across, they were like, well, you should really got it because I was trained for this. I went to school for it. And when I say I went to school, not only did I graduate from college
with the real
with
degree.
a real degree, I also graduated from Michigan Political Leadership Program, so a network of individuals in politics statewide, and I also participated in different national league of cities or even the county commission. So just like a person need a foot doctor, you go to a foot doctor. You need
Right.
a, well, I was trained for it, and I make no apology for it, but I also had the heart to serve,
Mhm.
and I didn't lie to folks, and folks didn't like me because they didn't like Woodrow, and to this day, I still support him because he was my mentor,
Mhm.
and I may have said some things that was unpopular, but it was true, and that's the same way with Dr. Weaver.
Right.
We're not gonna sugarcoat. We're just gonna tell you like it is. And if you accept it. Not,
Right.
oh well. I
But
don't
see,
have
I
to.
always thought politics was like Mays used to say. He said we ought to be able to sit here, disagree, and then afterwards let's go have a beer. And so I remember back in 2019, it was a rough election, okay? And 1420 had um, had Mayor Weaver and AC Dumas and all of them going out of one door, out the back door by the studio, and we're coming in the front door. So this particular day, Sheldon and I and Tanya Burns, we were coming in. They were all going out, but Mayor Stanley, he decided to come back through the front. Boy, you could have bought folks for $1, but me, I was standing proud because I was excited to see him. I was like, "Hey, Woody," and he was like, "Hey, Wyntis." I said, "You created this monster. Don't be mad at nobody." And "I'm good," And Jasmine, his daughter, told me said he always thought highly of me. And I think he knew I was genuinely a good person. Just being a little misled, but like you said, there's no testimony without a test.
And contrary to popular belief, sometimes people get misled, and I think he may have a heart, but sometimes it comes across. You have to be genuine.
Right.
You have to be able to go to Laredo Street, El Dorado Street, um, Evergreen, and even come downtown Flint, be a little deeper and not lose your account. And
Right.
that's what I believe may have happened. And I can't say one thing with my clergy, then say one thing with my brothers in the hood.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
I gotta be me, who I am, and that may have happened along the way in the sixth ward. And I refuse to give credence to the name. But,
I understand.
but Dr. Weaver, she can go anywhere.
I
Woodrow could go anywhere,
right,
and
anywhere
yeah,
and be known for the great works. Their record speaks for itself. I mean, we would hear him say, compare the records. Well, definitely, let's compare the records. We could start off with this false degree that you claim you had.
or we could talk about the jobs that Dr. Weaver helped initiate before she left office. 3,000 jobs. I mean, she was instrumental in that. You look at when we're at the bottom and we needed somebody to bring attention to her. She was our Dion, our prime time. She brought attention, but she had substance.
Right.
I mean, no, yeah, people talk about Flint negative way, but under Dr. Weaver's leadership,
It was Flint, Michigan.
and she had to go to Washington D.C. to spend money. But how much did she bring back? Because somebody made the statement, "Well, she flying first class." Duh.
Right,
When you get upgraded, that's first class.
right.
But how many places have you gone? I mean, under this administration, how many leaders have we actually brought here, or have they gone to D.C. and came back with the bacon?
And if she spent $500, she bought back 10,000.
Hello now, and then the employment. Look at
Right.
people who look like me. I mean, your nieces, your nephews, my cousins, they got employment.
Yeah.
And even under Stanley administration. So at Grambling, we say imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yes.
Well,
Imitation is the best form of
and
flattery.
that's what's happening to Dr. Weaver. She often imitated, but never duplicated. And it's flattery because all the stuff that they said she didn't do, what has happened in the past 3 years?
Right.
I mean, and the things that she did do, he took, he's taking credit for it.
Right. And you have to ask yourself, like, what have my cousin said she's been trying to watch every episode. It's very important for people to hear what is happening in our city. Yes, it is. Thank you, Talisha. It is very important. And what a lot of people don't understand is when they say, "Well, tell me why should I vote for Weaver?" I say, you know what? Ask yourself this. I try to ask them a question and let them think it out for themselves. Go back to 2019. Are you better off in 2019? Or where are you better off today than you were in 2019? Or what has changed?
Well, we had COVID. And here's
That's what
the
we trying to
thing.
use for
Here's the thing of the Dr. Weaver. She didn't make excuses. She made it happen.
That's it.
She had lemons and she made what?
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yep. She had an emergency
Manager.
manager. She took over. Yep.
And she didn't cater to those folks in Lansing. And that's why they have a problem because she's an intelligent woman and she
Yes.
knows her stuff. And there's some of the people she surrounds herself with, they ain't putting up with it.
Right.
And you gotta have a little unction about you if you want to survive in this game.
Right.
See, Dr. Weaver, she know how to be a king among kings, and she not, and that's what this political people need. So in this environment, that's what we need because our city is suffering.
Yes.
And if you don't think our city is suffering, I don't know where you live. Not only our city, but our region.
And
Our
the
region is
people,
yeah.
the people, the spirit, the morale, everything is just
And she
it's
got a
just down.
if I'm not mistaken, she got a PhD in what? Psychology?
Psychology,
Wait. A PhD.
a PhD.
Not she didn't go to school of hard knocks. She got and then her husband is a dentist, so she has a heart.
Mhm. You got to, because I sat down with Dr. Weaver and I said, you were doing speaking engagements all over the country. She was well sought after. You know what? Not over the country. She was going all over the world, traveling, telling them about the water crisis, keeping shine the light on Flint, and for her to give all of that up. Now she could have went and been a psychologist for the stars. You know how some of us would have made
Use
this
a stepping stone.
and used it. But she came back because she said she wanted to finish what she started. She got a chance to sit back and look at the things that have went on in the past 3 years, and she was like, let me do it.
Transparency.
Transparency.
Transparency. Oh, by the way, the Karen Fund. Well, the Karen Fund, I have to go the transparency piece. In order to, like I said earlier, to go to DC, to go to these different places, it's not a taxpayer to spend. Sometimes you have to work and do that. And then even if you do, sometimes individuals will bring you there, and that's public information. Now, no disrespect intended, but how many times have the current administration gone to DC or gone to Atlanta and presented on Flint's behalf, and then folks want to come back and make an investment?
I haven't heard.
They got to keep the city.
They got a key. A lot of key. Oh, hey, really watching.
I mean, and that's not throwing shade, but that's
Right.
those are the facts and the reality. So when you want to do what what's different now and then, do a fact check.
Fact check. Look at the pipes. 90% of the pipes finished under Mayor Weaver's administration.
And who's the contractor?
W.T. Stevens.
And the contract from Flint help young men of color,
Yeah.
people who are natural. Under Weaver administration, how many people received contracts and how those dollars stayed in our community
Yeah.
and families? So when we talk about the blight and those individuals, they weren't out there committing heinous crimes. Don't get me wrong, we did have crime problems. We still have crime problems.
Right.
But guess what? That starts at home.
Right.
We can't police every home.
Right.
But under Weaver administration, you saw something.
And that's how you think people would be. And it's not a color thing for me. It's about Flint people taking care of Flint people. Just like May said, why not give some of these young boys that's starting up these lawn companies, come give them a little contract. Let them cut 2 or 3, 4 yards.
That's part of the land bank piece. That's something that we did. And that's something else under a Weaver administration. You saw a lot of collaboration.
Right.
You saw
You did.
collaboration. You
You
saw folks work with each other. Now, it's a trust issue. If you can't tell me the truth about your degree, how can you tell me the truth about the budget? And I remember hearing what Weaver misappropriated dollars. Well, where's the financial audit? Where's the dollars not? We have ARPA dollars sitting there not being utilized.
Oh, he
Dr.
utilizing them for campaign funds.
Well, maybe if you get a speed bump in front of your house, that's something different. But not. But you need a speed bump on DuPont Street or on Sally. I mean, there's so many areas, or even on the east side.
They gone now. They had to come back and pick them up because he ordered rubber ones, and they are crack and expand in the winter time, so they had to go collect them.
So yeah, with those ARPA dollars, people don't need a hand.
They need uplifting.
And my mom, she may not be listening, but when she told me, she said that's $300. She said that's a joke to some people. Why would you insult our intelligence? We don't want crumbs. We want a piece of the pie.
Right.
And under Weaver administration, we all were able to eat. I heard people only got contract. No, the community benefited. Whether it be your faith-based organization, whether your nonprofits, everybody benefits under Weaver administration, and her administration representing the community, not just one side. I mean, who's the voice for the east side in this administration? Who's the voice for the seniors? Who's the voice for the youth?
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question because I don't know anything.
I don't
I'm
know
only
either.
being here for
We
50 some odd years. I only, gave my heart and soul to this
we
Right.
country.
haven't even seen a organizational chart from downtown yet. So I mean, you asking like who's the contact? We don't even know who's working downtown.
What do you mean we don't know who's working
This
downtown?
what I say. Eric been asking for an organizational chart, and I know this for a fact because I was sitting in Neely's office watching the council meetings with it. And Eric said, all these people walk around council, city hall. I need to know who's working here. I should know who's working here. I'm the president of the council. Where's Mr. Neely? Clyde Edwards? Call Clyde Edwards up to the podium. I need to see an organizational chart. We're gonna have that for you in 2 weeks. We've been saying that for 3 years.
But he's able to blame. I saw a piece, and forgive me for going off on this, but I saw a piece of literature that really it it brought the side of me that I didn't like. And they talk about her administration, about people within her administration, and they said one or two individuals running her administration. We all have a trusted confidant, and we all have a past. But guess what? Some people who have a past, those are individuals who help make sure we don't repeat. So
The
when
mistakes, and they can see them. I understand
and
exactly
it's
what you're saying.
wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And if you look at their background, some of those individuals are educated,
Right.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So and some of them have life skills, and some of our entrepreneurs.
They didn't say one word when they elected Don Williamson down there.
That's a plantation. Ooh, that's a plantation mentality.
Mhm.
When I say plantation
I
mentality,
understand.
they
what
don't
you're
want to see
saying. Uh-huh.
somebody succeed. And why do you go to school? To
To further your knowledge, you go to school to learn so you can help others.
and why do you travel?
You travel to broaden your horizons.
And then when you bring that together, what do?
You collaborate, you build from within and in your city up. You bring that knowledge back to your home base.
And that's what Dr. Weaver.
Dang, you may look at you good.
I mean-
You put all of that together.
I mean,
Yeah.
so when people talk about Dr. Weaver, why should I vote for her? Why should I support her? It's like Stevie Wonder can see it.
Yes. Stevie Wonder can see why we need to vote for Dr.
Yeah.
Karen Weaver.
You know, Lizzo, she got a song called "It's About What."
Oh, I don't know.
Y'all know Lizzo?
Yeah,
I know her,
She got
but
a song about that. Oh, she got it. She got a song. She said it's about what? Time.
time.
I was gonna
Okay.
say it's always about time.
You know, think about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be all right
Yeah.
under a Weaver administration. But if you want to continue to sorrow and have pity parties or get keys to the city,
Yeah, if they want a big ceremonial and parades and fireworks, like I said earlier on my show, this is Flint. This is what he's trying to do. Steal it right up from under you, and you keep playing around. And don't vote Weaver tomorrow if you want to.
you know, we're gonna win with Weaver.
Yeah.
We're gonna win with Weaver. We're gonna win with Weaver because of integrity. And she's not dividing the city. And so I said, well, her camp, threatening who? Threatening who?
No, I didn't took more threats than it. Omar, I don't mess around with the police, and I didn't have to call them. I didn't got threatened and everything. I should have been on TV 12.
You should mention. Well, here's my thing with the police. I've been walking with Dr. Weaver, and on at least 6 occasions, police have shown up in the areas we're in. I ain't know we had details, huh?
They come to protect y'all.
But I need them on Myrtle Street. I need them on DuPont Street.
Mhm.
I need them on Carpet Street. I don't need them when she's walking with
Right.
us. Now she got special details that I know.
No,
You know?
you got that much time to come and watch.
Yeah, and don't
There
tell
we
me
walk.
you're not, because we took pictures.
Mhm.
So misappropriation of funds. And then what about those families who not receiving justice? I remember when Mary was in office, they accused her of cover up with little girls on Saginaw Street that got killed. Right? And
Yep.
now,
That was me and Tiger.
you know, they accused me. And man, Weaver didn't do it. She let it judicial system play out.
It wasn't like this, was it? Like how my man Land is playing it.
No, it wasn't nothing like this.
Like how Land playing, they got the covering up.
Yeah, so I mean, so that type of stuff. But then I hear about two little boys getting killed in a fire, and the fire chief want to fire the individual, but he's over. I mean, I don't quite understand. Where's the cover up?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sorry, not cover up.
Where's the transparency?
Because that's the buzzword, transparency.
And then we got two different fire reports. One say terminate, one say recommend termination. We got so much stuff going on.
But see, under we
Then we got,
administration,
and then Mays told me today when Neely was a state rep, he introduced the House bill to end all police chases. So when he come back to Flint and they crashing and killing folks from police chases, and now we got Mr. Vontrice Davis, whose mother I had her on early this morning, ML King and Pearson Road trying to get justice because they said it wasn't police chase, but witnesses says as soon as they heard a bang, they looked out the window and they seen 20 cars. And the lady said she's never ever seen that many cars as soon as you hear bang. They don't show up that quick.
and you know what?
But he's embarrassed.
It's embarrassing. And again, under Dr. Weaver's administration, even law enforcement was more community.
Orient, yep.
I mean,
Yep.
she would call the state. She would have heated discussions with them,
Yep.
and even the sheriff department. She would, because I witnessed firsthand.
Yep.
And I
We
mean,
didn't have to have 15 different blue ribbon committees
that's a joke. That's a joke, and no, don't even go there.
Operation Arrowhead. She had her own. She had one police force, and it was serving the whole community of Flint.
And I think the person, chief right now, I have the utmost respect for him.
Mhm.
He Flintstones, I heard, but he only could do it so much because at the end of the day,
He
he
got a
has to.
boss too.
But it's time for the Flint people to get us a new boss, not a boss, a leader.
A leader.
Yeah, because right now there's a difference between leaders and managers. You know, Dr. Weaver is a visionary leader.
Mhm.
What do you have right now? A ceremonial king? Oops, I'm sorry.
We didn't call him king because I ain't crowning him.
He making I ain't gonna call him a boss because he making the mafia.
But
We
there's
gonna
some
call him
people who are ceremonial
Yeah.
in the pomp and circumstances.
Yeah.
Dr. Weaver wasn't about that. Oh, but somebody told me she always traveled with a lot of folks, entourage. Maybe those are supporters, and if you have an issue, if you question, somebody else can answer the question. Take advantage of
I've
the
never
resources.
seen her with no entourage.
Well, I've heard that.
Yeah,
So
I've seen her with a couple people. That's probably her press chief of staff, whoever. So what? She
I've
was
seen-
getting stuff done.
I've seen her with folks, and if this person couldn't answer the question, somebody else was able to respond. Can you say that now? And she didn't give us a political answer.
Right.
She didn't smoke. She spoke up.
Right. She didn't give you no riddles and
Yeah, and she didn't say stuff you like, what?
like what leave you confused,
You know,
but it sounded good.
I like what Philip Lee just put in here.
Philip,
He
been hanging with us
he
today.
said a figurehead is somebody put in a position but without real authority.
And that's what we got.
Thank you,
downtown.
Bill.
Thank you, Philip, because that's what we got. He's a figurehead. Let me love that. He is
Yeah.
absolutely a figurehead because let me tell you what I heard. Allegedly, there was a meeting that took place between some of the gatekeepers and the figurehead. And they told the figurehead, we know this is your third time running for mayor, because this was his third time when he won. This is your third time running for mayor. We can help you, but we need you to get at least 25% of the black vote. He was like, cool, I can do that. But you're just gonna be the figurehead because we got some things that we want to do and we gonna be running this. And he said, I just want to be mayor.
I have no knowledge of that.
I'm just saying, you probably don't have no knowledge
I
of
have
that.
no knowledge of
But
that.
what I just said kind of looks like what we got. You're just
See,
a figurehead.
now you got me
Thinking.
and going back to history.
Yeah.
But I know Dr. Weaver, she didn't take no stuff from folks on that.
She showed
And
it.
she alienated some folks too. When I say she alienated them, she had her own mind and she got input from her team.
It was a black lady. Well, it is a black lady that's over the Kellogg Foundation. She donated a lot of money. She got some grants. Well, I ain't gonna say
And
she donated.
she gave a grant and she hired couple of individuals, and folks said those are city dollars, but that was grant funded position. And a good friend of mine is a man who I highly respect, a man who been a mentor to me, Mr. G, as I call him, took a hit, and he continues to take hit because he's not buying their bull.
Right.
Oh,
But not only the thing about that, some of our local foundations got a little upset because somebody else with just as much money as them. How dare you come in our city?
I don't think our local, because my first job was working at a community foundation, and I had a relationship with the community foundation and my foundation, and I think those are valuable resources. I think the leadership we have there, I know for a fact personally, like just like I'm sitting here talking to you, they want to see what's best in the city, but they don't want the foolishness, the shenanigans that they've seen over the years. And under,
Back in the
I can't speak for them. I don't think they're back. I think they want to see our city move forward. They don't want to get. I can't.
Where's my debate music?
I can't speak for them, but based on my conversation with them, at the end of the day, I know that they will support a Weaver administration.
Well, I'm sure when she wins, they will.
Well, and right now, again, I'm not their spokesperson. I can't speak,
Absolutely. Where's this
but based on my,
you?
experience with them, they're like, let them resolve that. But we're here to build a city out. And in regard to, because if I'm not mistaken, under the My Foundation, they did send us, we have an economic development person that liaison, if my memory is correct, under Weaver administration. I don't know if that's now is.
We don't have economic development anymore under the city.
But I remember there was a person who was a liaison at the foundation sent to the city of
But
Flint.
Weaver brought it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Under her administration.
Yeah, under her administration.
So that's why I said philanthropic community, and I know the other foundations they were supportive, but we have to be transparent and we have to be above board, and you have to have a plan. You just can't come at the foundation say, I need money. No, you have to show us what are you contributing. You have to have some skin in the game, and then you have to have a vision. You have to make sure that the people benefit, not just one or two individuals. I mean that's philanthropic community. So, but I want to leave that alone because
right.
I just touch on it. Yeah. But I know, let's do this. Follow the money. Follow the trail. Who's contributed? Who's campaigning?
Dane Wallen contributed to Sheldon Neely's campaign, Omar. He took the blood money from Dane Wallen. Sure did. Seen it on the campaign thing. It's out there and so because it's public record because they got a report. And so they wanted to report that.
But he also drank the water with Dane Wallen too. So what? Tell me something.
He said,
"Yeah,
it's fresh."
And yeah.
But he told me that when he said it was fresh, he was talking. Now, this is what he told me. This is not no hearsay. It's from his mouth to my ears. He said, when I said it was fresh, I mean it was fresh at the plant, not after it traveled through the pipes. Well, if you knew it was going to be effed up when it traveled through the pipes,
That's unacceptable.
sir.
That's unacceptable.
Very.
Yeah. And then another thing, again, who's on this current administration team? May's been asking. The council don't know the org chart. You have to have an org chart. Everybody knew Weaver's org chart.
Right, but everybody keeps leaving under Neely. It's just him and Clyde. Clyde is the vice director, the city administrator, the deputy chief, the press secretary. I mean, this all Clyde's jobs.
One man.
One man. And Mays told Clyde last month, he said, Clyde, he said, Mr. Edwards, I commend you because I couldn't keep coming up to this podium taking hits like you do. He keeps sending him up there, Paul, Clyde, suits and got big and everything. Clyde is tired of taking them hits like that.
That's where a leader will come forward and take responsibility. Again, there's a difference between a leader and a figurehead. Now, I didn't say man, but go back to figurehead.
Well, you worked with him. That was your colleague.
No, I wasn't at council. I left before him. I went over to the commission, and I did work with him because I can work with anybody. Like you said earlier, even before the meeting, sometimes I would meet with the guys and say, I need to know where you stand. And afterwards, we're going to go out and have some eat, and it's not personal. But I at least will have a better understanding because at the end of the day, you got to get 5 votes. And I would really like to see this council work with the Weaver administration to get these ARPA dollars to benefit the people who need the most. You go into some of these neighborhoods, look at the houses with the tarp on them. You can't even ride down the street. And then even the porches, our people are suffering.
Something bad.
And we got all these resources here.
Yep. All these dollars, and they keep going to the same groups, it seems
And,
like.
and then even with the philanthropic community, I know that they would, uh, because they have a vested interest in this community too. So,
We just gotta fix Flint.
but
And
you
the
gotta
only
have a
way to
leader who
fix
don't mind speaking out and who don't mind bringing attention to it.
right, and the only way to fix Flint is we need Weaver. It's no other way. I mean,
Well, when are
listen.
we leaving tomorrow, November 8th? Get out and vote.
And what time's the polls open
Polls
tomorrow?
open from 7 to 8 p.m. How do you know? Because I've been doing it ever since I was 8 or 9 years old.
Right, and then not only that, just don't say, "Oh, it's 7:50 and it's right around the corner. You don't have time to go." If you are inside by 8 o'clock, they have to let you vote.
And don't say my vote don't make a difference because
Right.
your vote do matter.
Yeah,
Whenever you say your vote don't matter, what you're saying, you as an individual don't matter. You're the biggest problem because you're not taking responsibility. We've been empowered. You know how many people died for the right to vote? Think about those folks who couldn't vote. But you're privileged and you're right minded. You don't want to go vote, but then you want to criticize, talk about what are you doing?
Right.
How many folks have you hired? How many kids have you saved? I mean, come on now.
Yeah. I posted a pic where I did a live feed today about the water line at Bethel. I mean, it was wrapped down Donaldson where Bethel started all the way up Berkeley, all the way back down Ballinger, and all the way down Woolcock to Sutton. And this was at 8 o'clock. They don't start giving away to 10. And but the water is fine. If the water is fine, you wouldn't keep giving out bottled water, right?
It's a trust issue. Under Weaver administration, you could say some things and she wouldn't give you the political answer.
Right.
It was a trust. Our people need somebody that they could trust. Not somebody's gonna divide to say one thing we're in the first ward and say another thing we're in the ninth ward.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And send out or have somebody else send out literature, you know, tearing your opponent down, but then take credit for something you didn't do.
Right.
Be honest.
And I had posted on Facebook. I said my mom had told me under the Weaver administration, she remember not paying her water bill for almost a year. Somebody came on there, she that started a year before her. I said, well, hell, Neely take credit for everything she done did. He ain't started not one. He has not started not and finished not one project since he's been in office that it was of his own. Everything has been Mayor Weaver. See, the opioid money, Mayor Weaver.
Mayor Weaver.
Okay, he said we finished 95% of the project. You only did 5% because she did 90. Mayor Weaver.
Mayor Weaver.
I mean, come on.
And they have 8-hour council meetings with Mayor Weaver is mayor.
Oh, yeah. I think they had 8-hour council meetings when Sharp was mayor.
Shit, I started with Sharp. Now you going back to my roots
Y'all,
in '83.
I
Wow.
remember coming down there when they had 107 rounds for the ombudsman. So y'all had
I remember that about
Yeah, y'all had some long meetings back then.
But that's the smoke in the mirrors when they tell you we don't supposed to do this. That's because they trying to push stuff along. Because they know this ain't the first time council. I get what Eric be saying. When you dealing with millions, we ain't talking about no $200 or $300.
Right.
We talking about millions of dollars of contracts. You don't think you supposed to go through it? You got somebody with a garbage contract, allegedly, that they might have paid $9 million more, but the council pushed it through. I ain't talking about all of them, just his 5 to 6 votes that he got. They pushed it through.
25 years ago, in 1997, I became a councilman. I was first
That was
elected
25 years ago,
1997, and this is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So 25 years ago, some of the same issues we're dealing with, but here's the difference. We have a person now who understands history and who's not trying to repeat their history.
Right.
Why
Right.
keep making the same mistake
Right.
over and over again.
Right.
When I talk about issues, I'm talking about north side, south side, not necessarily with water, but with economic development. We had racially. Because I'm gonna go on record and say this now. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the coverage of this Monroe race. It's been one-sided.
It sure has.
It's
Thank
been
you, Omar.
one-sided. Nobody did fact check. Nobody held accountable. The fact that you didn't have a mirror debate
Tell it, Omar.
and the media didn't say something, that's a problem. And the fact that when you show commercials, you showing one candidate over, that's a major problem. And then you have a newspaper, and not once have they put on anything talking about. We had those issues 25 years ago, and to see them today, that's a problem. And we talk about unemployment for our young people, that's a problem. 25 years ago, and but again, under Weaver administration, even when some supposedly stakeholders, they were hiring young folks. Where do you think Youth Quest came from? That didn't come from the chamber. That came under Stanley administration when he helped folks get jobs. You know,
Right.
so when we talk about 25 years ago and talk about what's going on, I see.
Yeah.
Pal. Yeah, where's Pal?
Yeah.
Pal.
Well,
No,
they said it's a
brother.
pilot program.
Yeah,
though.
that's supposed to be a pilot
It's a
program.
No, no, it's not a pilot program.
No. They said it was the new council said it was a pilot
Yeah.
program.
Well, no, let's
We
be real.
had Pal
No,
before.
the damn.
We had
Yeah.
because you don't know, understand your history. Don't speak without knowing your history. Because I know the history of Flint. I've sat under, with Johnny Coleman, Ed Taylor,
Right.
Fred Tucker, Sylvester Broom. So don't go there.
Right.
These are Bill Rice. We may not all gotten along, but guess what? We knew. Chester Simmons.
Yeah.
People don't understand it. Fred Tucker. Helen Williams. Scoop. I mean, there's name. Oh, you just name drop. No, I'm sharing you Flint history. Folks that you need to know.
Right. And those are the people. I get it. I get it.
And
people-
we had a chamber of commerce, and there was, Gene Collier. But people don't talk about that. James Franklin mother didn't. You had ministers who did economic empowerment. How many churches had their own credit union?
Yeah.
How
Boston
many-
Avenue. Remember their credit union? They had their own. Yeah.
When a political leader came in, they came to the black church.
Yeah.
And we say don't come north of the river. We say don't come ask for our vote unless you come.
Bands, yeah.
But now I see the great divide. You look at the vote numbers, it's like, don't take our people, don't take anybody for granted. They don't just come an election when you're running for office, just come to our churches. Oh, I can't say it because churches do whatever they want to do. And that's how you lose respect. That's history. That's history.
But I know also the history when we had our great leaders, Pastor Randolph, Fuller, Smith, Floyd, Curry,
They weren't perfect.
Pointer. They were not. They was far from perfect. But like you said, they knew not to repeat the mistakes that they made. We wouldn't have all of this. I truly believe we wouldn't have all of this that's going on now in our political world if we still had them that group of strong pastors.
So watch it. So that's why it's important. Don't repeat the history. Don't make the mistake we made 3 years ago by not re-electing Dr. Karen.
Right.
That's why when don't talk about history. If you go down there and you vote any other candidate besides Karen Weaver, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Because history has shown you get the short end. It won't be our story, it'll be
Their story. And think about this. We're gonna close out. People say, well, why should we go backwards? Well, let me tell you this. Let's say you're driving. There was a lady. She was driving down the street, and she put her address in the GPS. Follow me now. Do like the preachers. So she was driving, and the GPS said rerouting. You're going the wrong way. Now, this lady had two choices to make. She could continue driving knowing that she was going down the wrong path, or she could turn around and go back and get on the right road. Now, I say that to say, if you vote nearly, you're going to continue going down that wrong road. But we got a chance tomorrow to turn around and go back and get back on the right street.
That's why we're here, winning with Weaver.
Winning with Weaver. We thank y'all. I got another show coming up after this. We're going to close out with a little fun tonight. So stay tuned. Give me about 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Thank you, Brother Omar.
Was that okay?
Yeah.